So as you can see, the sakura is almost in full bloom, and we have a very nice row of sakura trees with this row of blue benches. So it creates two layers of leading line pointing towards this section of the frame, and I like that this little square formed a perfect backdrop for a subject to walk by. So I waited a little bit for someone to walk there and shoot in burst mode to make sure that I have a perfect leg spread. And yeah, I think it's a nice balanced composition, playing with leading lines, the rule of third. Pretty simple, but always works. Here I really just wanted to take a picture of these three benches, and what I did is using a lot of the sakura on top as some sort of a negative space, because in the end it's just a big blob of white flowers. And what I did is make sure that the edge of this bench and the edge of the other one are really placed in the middle, so they are at the same distance from the edge. So we have this block of three benches really in the center of the frame. So a simple shot without anyone in the frame, and I think it works quite well. You don't always need to have a human subject in the frame. Here I just really like all these layers of greenery. You have this kind of bush thing here. We have this beautiful tree, and yeah, it creates a nice shape. It pairs well with the building. It would be nice to have someone walking around here, but I really doubt that is going to be the case. I know this place and no one is ever walking there. So anyway, this photo is more like a visual thing with a lot of colors and texture that I like, and I find myself composing a lot vertically when shooting at 50mm. I just took this part of the frame, and yeah, it looks quite good. Still at the same location, and just wanted to take a picture of these leaves that still have a few droplets of water on top, and I added this leaf to add a little bit of depth, a little bit of foreground. Here's a pretty frustrating situation, because the combination of this tree and a car could look nice, and just behind this very random, very normal looking car, we have a very nice blue sports car. But yeah, I mean, you cannot always win, I guess. So I just found another beautiful sakura tree spot. We have a lot of them almost in full bloom, and we have this little walking path where I want the subject to walk by. But in the meantime, I'll just give you a quick tip on how I shoot when taking photos of the sakura. I hope you can see it. I'm at plus 0.3 on the exposure compensation, because the trees are so white. When you use any of these semi-automatic modes on your camera, it considers this as a very bright part of the frame, so the camera tries to rebalance the overall composition. But the problem is that you may end up with all these shadow areas being way too dark, so you need to compensate for that. So usually at 0, 0.3 or even 0.7 is a good place to start. We have some sort of a weird light today. It's bright, but there's a little bit of a haze or something. So here I wanted to take a picture of the fountain and the people seated on the bench, but if I lowered my camera to eye level, you see that the top of the head of the people are almost getting mixed with the bush, so we don't have a clear subject separation. So what I had to do is just lift up my camera, and as you can see, now they are very well separated and they are only surrounded by brighter parts. so which makes a better perspiration. And then I just place the fountain and the people on the opposite third, and it makes a very balanced, simple composition. So here I could take advantage that it's still pretty early in the day. We don't have too much people walking around here, so I waited for only one subject to walk in this area of the frame. I love the sense of scale we have. It really shows how big this building is when people are far there, like, because they appear very small in the frame. Then it was a bit tricky because the further there they are, the easier they get mixed with the and like lost in the shadows there. So ideally I should have someone walking more towards me. So here I find a pretty interesting vertical composition to work with. Obviously this would not be part of my frame. We have a very nice contrasty area here. The surroundings are pretty dark. I'm not a big fan of the sign on the window there, neither of this cone, but I wouldn't mind cloning them out in post. And talking about post, I think I will further increase the contrast by reducing the exposure of these elements here and keeping all the brightness here in the center part of the frame where a subject passed by. And yeah, that was the idea behind this shot. So I found the most beautiful sakura tree of the whole park, and you see there's a bit of light pouring from the left, from the right to the left. And so the sakura tree is obviously the main subject of the frame, and I'm using this one as a foreground to add a little bit of depth. And now I'm waiting for someone to walk around here. I could see some people walking around, but actually they get lost in the shadow a little bit, so I'm not entirely sure how it will turn out, but let's wait and see. Here we have a beautiful moment. We have this lady seated on the bench. I focused on her and waited for no one to be in the frame. No one was walking down there, and she's surrounded by the sakura tree, so it's a beautiful, peaceful, solitary moment. So here we have the atomic bomb dome, but we have some beautiful sakura trees, and if you place your camera somewhere around here, you can have the dome surrounded by the flowers, which looks pretty good. Add a little bits of foreground, and yeah, makes more of a unique shot compared to taking it straight on.